This is Alcon Raycon, and this is Alvin. What a disappointment I was when Manchester City lost out to Southampton. Now, don't get me wrong. I can understand the reason why Guardiola decided to play 5 of his youth players. He wants to give them the experience. But let's face it, not 5 players. You just defeated Liverpool with a full team and played extremely well. Good coordination, good moving with the ball forward, and a nice, positive type of attacking football. Now you've got a chance to make sure that it works again. You still got 6 matches in the league. So therefore, what's wrong with just giving maybe one of the youngsters a chance or 2? But do not crack up the nucleus of that team to be able to put them in, and they are not communicating well. It's not that they're bad players. The potential is there. But the absence of communication, especially in the back 4. You don't want to have Cancelo and Zinchenko and Laporte and Garcia at the back. They're all newcomers to the team. They have not proven themselves at any level to be able to say that you're going to keep that defense intact. No, you didn't. And you paid for it simply because of the silly errors by the defenders. Garcia in particular at one time, a bad pass on a long 40-meter shot, and that was the goal scored by Manchester City. But on the other hand, what a performance by Manchester City. The attacking play continued to be very good. It was similar to what I saw against Liverpool. The passing lanes in between the opposing midfielders, getting straight to the strikers, swinging it out to the byline and inside. And the goalkeeper was just brilliant. And there were a number of chances that went for Manchester City. They did extremely well, but as soon as the play broke down and it passed our midfield, and I'm talking Manchester City's midfield now, the defense becomes vulnerable. And this was a big fear all during the course of the game. What it did is it tightened up in the midfield. Fernandinho does the job that he does so well, and I wondered why. Why didn't you use him at the back? He's the man with the choice of passes and everything else. He's a good reader of the game. Cancelo on the right-hand side may have been a good player, but certainly positionally not a good one. Neither Zinchenko on the far side. These guys go up, they don't come back in time, and there's vulnerability on both sides of the park, particularly if you've got 1 or 2 opponents that are pretty quick. So that was not good strategy. On the other hand, when you have Bernardo and David Silva in the middle of the field, I would love to have seen De Bruyne right in that next area next to him, and send Fernandinho back and let Garcia take a look and see the lessons that could be learned from that exercise. It was not done. And there were a number of instances where we would have said, listen, it is inevitable that Man City will score. They're going through there, they're penetrating magnificently. And the forwards are doing well, they're shooting on target, they're hitting the post, the goalkeeper is throwing himself, and lazily and sometimes in guess, and he's touching the ball out and getting it out of the goal post. 1-0. Manchester City may say, as Pep Guardiola, I'm going to use these youngsters. I need them. I need them to get exposure of not with 5 or 4 of them in one game. Why couldn't it be 1? Why couldn't it be bringing there alternatively, keeping 1. At the end, you may have the 5, but you would have been solidified with your top players. If Walker had been on the field and Mendy had been on the field and Otamendi, you would have had a lead of 3 or 4. I'm assuming, of course, but from the way the team was playing, that's what would have happened. It didn't come from behind there. It was always coming from Sterling Smith. It was coming from Jesus. It was coming from Mahrez. Yes, they're good players. The midfielders are doing well. But as soon as it gets over into the Man City half of the field, there is a little bit of doubt as to the movement of the ball by these youngsters. I was a little bit disappointed in Zinchenko. When I saw him the first 2 or 3 occasions, he was going up the left side for an overlap. Now it has become stereotypical. Goes up there and he doesn't make the decision really enough. Most times he's got to turn back and play it back deep into his own field to restart the attack. on the other side of the park. Cancelo goes up in the same type of position, but certainly his passes, his long passes are pretty well when he's got the room, but he doesn't connect with the midfield in the way going up on the right side to be able to get that cross ball. So it created a lot of problems for Man City. At the end of it, they struggled. They did not win the game. I'm not knocking them, simply because every coach is entitled to what he wants to do. And it is clear that Pep Guardiola wanted these youngsters to get the opportunity to play. Let's hope that they will improve and win some matches and ensure their places not only in the Champions League, but in the second position. All these other anxious clubs, Chelsea, Man United, Leicester City, Arsenal, and what have you, they're fighting to get in there. You can never tell. So let's not see that type of approach again for the other matches. I'm still a big Man City fan, and I know that Pep Guardiola can do the job as well as anybody else.